The Pentagon blames human errors, equipment failure, and fatigue for the bombing of a hospital in Afghanistan that killed 42 people last year, but insists it was not a war crime. National security correspondent Jennifer Griffin reports from the Pentagon tonight on what this means for the service members involved.
The 3,000-page report on the October airstrike that killed 42 people, including a dozen medical personnel at the Doctors Without Borders hospital in Kunduz, Afghanistan, is redacted to protect the identities of the U.S. military personnel involved. 16 U.S. service members, including a two-star general, were disciplined but will not face criminal charges or court-martial.
The label war crimes is typically reserved for intentional acts, intentionally targeting civilians or intentionally targeting protected objects or locations.
The report concludes the Afghan hospital was on a no-strike list, but the AC-130 gunship crew could not access the list during the attack due to equipment failure. The gunship was called in to help a special forces unit that had been fighting for 4 days to help Afghan troops retake Kunduz from the Taliban. The aircraft arrived at the wrong location after a hurried takeoff and being fired on by a surface-to-air missile. CENTCOM Commander General Joe Votel said the aircrew did not know they were firing on a hospital during the 30-minute strike.
There was no intention on any of their parts to take a shortcut or to violate any rules that were laid out for them, and they were attempting to do the right thing.
The military admitted U.S. forces were never fired on from the hospital as initially reported. Doctors Without Borders issued the following statement, quote, "Today's briefing amounts to an admission of an uncontrolled military operation in a densely populated urban area, during which U.S. forces failed to follow the basic laws of war."
While the 16 U.S. service members will not face charges, the disciplinary action could end their military careers, Brett.
Jen, thanks. What can you tell us about this reinstatement of a decorated Green Beret who was kicked out of the Army for punching a Taliban commander accused of pedophilia?
Well, in a dramatic about-face, the U.S. Army decided late Thursday, Brett, to retain a decorated Green Beret it had planned to kick out after he physically confronted an Afghan commander accused of repeatedly raping a young boy. Sergeant First Class Charles Martland confirmed the Army's decision to Fox News, who first reported his case in August. Congressman Duncan Hunter pressed the Army for months to overturn its decision. Martland and his team leader confronted the Afghan commander after the boy's mother reported the crime. When the man laughed off the incident, they shoved him to the ground. We spoke to Sergeant Martland last night. He said he is happy that he can now continue to serve, Brett.
Jennifer Griffin, live at the Pentagon. Jennifer, thank you.